Okay, I'm back, Biffy. Alex Kurov should call in next. Actually, I'm going to step away again. All right, thank you.
And kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Everyone is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com or call 724-948-3571 for more information. That's 724-948-3571 for more information. That's Washington County Gun Show, presented by ARH Sports Shop, April 10th and 11th.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
When winter weather strikes the Ohio Valley, you can trust the Storm Tracker 7 weather team to help you plan your day. Our experienced meteorologists stay connected with you on TV, online, and on social. Get your weather information straight from a local source. We'll help you be prepared and make sure you'll never be surprised.
And we do expect dry conditions overnight, tonight, and all day tomorrow.
Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker, Aaron Mylar, and me, Zach Petty, the Storm Tracker 7 weather team, working for you.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mostly cloudy with early showers to start the day. Temperatures near 61 for the daytime high. Mostly cloudy through the overnight, a low near 40 degrees. Clouds breaking for sunshine for your Wednesday with a high near 65. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Guess what we're doing right now, right this second? Carpe diem, okay? We're doing it today. It's Carpe diem. Seize the day! What day?
What day?
Today? Today? This today?
I can think of no better time than the present.
Well, what is today?
Actually, today is Tuesday.
The Latin term for that sentiment is carpe diem. That seize the day.
Excuse me, I'm Susan.
It's showtime.
A fresh take on local, regional, and national news. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Yeah, folks from Reddit a few weeks ago ran up prices for GameStop and other stock markets, other stocks. Was it really a little guy sticking it to the market, trying to stick it to the man, making some kind of a philosophical point, or was it a more serious attack on long-term confidence in Wall Street? We're going to talk about that coming up in just a minute here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We just got done talking to Brad McElhenney about the new chair of the Republican Party in West Virginia, some controversial issues in his background when he was head of a VA hospital. We also were talking about the latest questions being raised about the governor's tax proposal, which comes from the Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce, Business Industry Council, and the Farm Bureau all this week have been raising questions about the governor's proposal. And the governor has just been scorched earth in the way he goes after these folks. Chamber has been the governor's ally, really. And yet he said, well, what's the Chamber done for us? Why, they left us dead last. If you missed the interview, we will put it up on our podcast page a little bit later on this morning. A Morgantown restaurant owner is charged in connection with the assault on a Capitol police officer during the insurrection. We talked about that with our D.C. reporter Tom Squitieri. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson says the insurrectionists didn't worry him because they were patriots. But Black Lives Matter protesters would have made him fearful. And we'll talk about not sharing your Netflix password coming up in a minute or two. And a cheerleader's mom in trouble for deep fake photos of her daughter's competitors. ABC's got a special report on that. We're looking for a rainy day on and off throughout the day today. Daytime high, mid to upper 50s, calling it 57, the predicted high. Currently, we are looking at 40 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Feels like 36, a little bit of wind blowing around, and it's cloudy and a little bit rainy outside. So, a number of months ago, I lose track of time, a month or so ago, I guess, a couple months ago, there was this story that was catching attention that people on Reddit, that online forum, had begun to buy up GameStop stock because of, well, they're making a point, I guess. And it ran the price of the stock up dramatically. And then they got involved in a couple of other stocks as well, sort of crowdsourcing investing, I guess, is maybe a way to look at it. I purposely let the story go for a while because I wanted time to calm down and settle down. But I do want to talk about this a little bit. So I invited Alex Kuroff with us, professor from WVU, their business college here, to discuss that. Professor, good morning and welcome to the show, first of all.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on.
Tell me, let's just background this a little bit to begin with. What happened with this whole Reddit, GameStop, and other things? Give me a little background on it.
Yeah, sure. Well, as you have already said, retail investors, including many subscribers to this Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets, pushed the prices of several stocks, including GameStop. The GameStop stock actually went from under $20 a share in early January to well over $400 a couple of weeks later. And these retail traders on Reddit coordinated their buying to harm hedge funds, which you kind of mentioned also. The hedge funds, and these are big institutional traders, had large short positions on these stocks. And because of the large price increases, they had to basically run for cover. And they lost billions of dollars in just a few days. And when someone pushes the price up to make short sellers cover their positions, this is called a short squeeze. So essentially what happened here with GameStop, at least back in January, was a crowdsourced short squeeze. And this shows that when a large number of small traders band together and trade in the same direction in a coordinated way, they're a force to be reckoned with. And it's kind of interesting how it happened. The Reddit campaign to push GameStop stock up started a few months ago. And at first, the stock just rose a little. And that caught, investors' attention, and those people bought, which pushed the prices up more, which caught more people's attention, and so on until January, when virtually every investor in the country was paying attention to GameStop because its stock price went so high. And it went so high because every investor was paying attention to it. So it's a self-reinforcing feedback loop, essentially. We have a lot of people.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Professor. Normally, not always, but normally a stock rises because somebody or some buddies have decided that there's something about the fundamentals of the stock or its future earnings possibilities or what have you. There's usually some rationale behind buying the stock. This was more of a, I don't want to say personal, but I mean, this was more of a making a point kind of thing, wasn't it? It really wasn't because GameStop stock was in any way more valuable after the fact than before they began this. They just wanted to run it up for their own personal reasons. Am I correct about that?
Well, yeah, there was some of that. Some of these traders, some of these retail traders felt that they had some, beef with Wall Street. And then they wanted to hurt these institutional traders, these hedge funds. And because the stock was heavily shorted, they figured they could trigger this short squeeze. And it worked. Like one of these hedge funds, Melvin Capital Management, lost more than half of its capital in just a few days, and they had to bail out, close the short positions. So it was part of what was going on, but part of it was that some of these traders, I guess, felt that the price was too low. And back in the summer, GameStop was trading for like $4 a share. So maybe it did look like, a bargain at the time. But it's definitely not a bargain right now. It fell to about $50 a share in February, but now it's back to about $220.
Still significantly up from its low, though.
Right. I mean, in January, the high was around $400. Then it fell, now it's back up. So it's kind of like a crazy roller coaster that's going on.
A lot of just sort of, I know people who got caught up in this thing. They're Redditors, and they thought, oh, this is kind of fun, and they got caught up in putting some money into GameStop because of that. Is this kind of investing? I call it crowdsource investing. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it or not, but is this something that we, the average person, should be paying attention to and should be considering doing ourselves?
Well, I think it's important to distinguish long-term investing from short-term trading. For a trader, it may make sense to buy GameStop at $220 a share, thinking that perhaps in a couple of hours or maybe even a few minutes they can sell it for, say, $225. On the other hand, for a long-term investor, buying GameStop at $220 a share is really a very bad idea, because GameStop is simply not worth $220 a share. The chances are a year from now it will be trading for something closer to $20 than $220.
The fundamentals didn't really justify the price it had. Simply the demand for the stock because of what the Redditors were doing is what drove it up.
That's correct. Let me give your listeners sort of a better idea about this company. GameStop is a brick-and-mortar chain of video game stores, and most video game sales now take place online as digital downloads. And GameStop has been pretty slow to adapt to this new reality. Its revenue peaked in 2012 and declined since. It hasn't earned a profit in years. So, simply speaking, it's a money-losing company in a competitive and quickly changing industry. So the fundamentals of the company are pretty weak. If you look at the price and compare with fundamentals, GameStop is now trading for about 50 times its book value. For comparison, the average price to book of mid-sized companies like GameStop is below 3. So again, in plain English, considering the company's fundamentals, this stock is really, really expensive.
Did people make money off of it? Did people sell it when it was up at its high mark and make some money off of it?
Oh, I'm sure that some did. If you look at the trading volume, back in late January, it was huge. I think there were a couple of days when GameStop was the most actively traded stock in the U.S. And a lot of traders certainly unloaded their positions at those high prices. So some made millions, others lost. But I think it's kind of really fueled by what you would call the greater fool theory. If you hold this stock, there has to be, a greater fool that buys it from you, or the whole thing just collapses.
Well, isn't that like a Ponzi scheme?
Yeah, it has some characteristics of a Ponzi scheme. That traders who, try to get on this train late and buy at very high prices, they'll be left holding the bag at the end. It is pretty risky, and the stock is incredibly volatile.
Professor, I'm curious, is there a bigger... to me, this was just an interesting little anecdotal story a couple of months ago. I paid attention to it, but I certainly wouldn't want to get involved in investing that way, and it was just an interesting story. But is there a bigger picture here? Are there some bigger ethical issues surrounding this whole... Does this teach us anything, maybe is a question I'm asking?
Yeah, I think there is a bigger picture here. I think it's pretty clear that this crowdsourced investing or essentially price manipulation makes the stock market look like a casino where prices are completely disconnected from fundamental values. But the stock market isn't just a casino. It serves a useful purpose. It connects investors with companies that will make the best productive use of investors' cash. For example, companies like Apple and Amazon simply wouldn't exist as we know them today without access to capital markets. So stock price is supposed to reflect the company's expected profits and its risk level. By looking at market prices, an investor should get an idea whether it makes sense to invest and how much they can expect to get in return. And when prices of stocks and other securities became detached from fundamental values, as they did in this case, bad things happen. Things like bubbles and crashes. And crashes often have painful consequences to Main Street. For example, when the housing bubble popped in 2008, it triggered a global financial crisis and a great recession when millions of people lost their jobs, their homes. So it has potentially negative consequences.
These kinds of stories have the potential to undermine confidence in the market, don't they?
I completely agree with this, yes. And it kind of makes it harder for the market to do what it's supposed to do when fewer people feel confident investing, you know. And there are some other issues involved there. You mentioned ethical issues. Certainly price manipulation, you know, has ethical and potentially legal implications.
To me, it seems like the bottom line is I'm not a big believer in individual investors spending a lot of time and effort on the market unless you really know what you're doing. And I think that's maybe part of the message here is that the market is not something to play around with, which is what I think the Redditors were kind of doing. They were playing around with it, if I could put that in air quotes. Investing is a serious issue, and you want to make sure that if you don't know what you're doing, you better deal with a professional who does.
Yes, that's a great point. In this kind of trading, traders who know what they're doing, they basically grab money from other traders. And, you know, they don't feel bad about it. They post screenshots of their brokerage accounts showing big gains, and that attracts more attention and more trading. But let's face it, this is not really investing, it's gambling. So here, my advice is simple. Stay away from this unless you have money you can easily afford to lose. You know. So I agree with you.
Exactly right. Professor, I appreciate your insight into this today. Thank you very much. I purposely wanted to wait for the story to kind of die down a little bit before we talked about it because I didn't want to put too much attention on it while it was in the heat of the run-up. But I think there are lessons to be learned here, and I appreciate your helping us to understand some of this. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good to be with you.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Professor Alex Kuroff from the WVU and their College of Business and Economics. And when that whole Reddit thing happened a couple of months ago, everybody was talking about, you know, these Reddit. And I'm not. Do you pay attention to Reddit, Biff? Are you a Redditor on the Reddit website or app or whatever it is?
No.
I'm not either. My kids live by Reddit. I mean, they read Reddit. They talk. I hear that all the time. Oh, well, Reddit said this, or there's a thread on Reddit about this. That's not me. But my kids called it to my attention, and I paid attention to it. They're Redditors, and it was kind of like they were upset that GameStop was not being given its due. These are people who like to buy video games, and they thought that GameStop wasn't being given its due, so they went into the market and bought GameStop stock. By the way, that's hard to say. GameStop stock. And it ran the price up dramatically from, just a handful of dollars per share to $200 plus per share. 1,700% increase at one point. Now, if you're smart enough to have gotten out when it was at the high, you made a ton of money. But if you didn't get in until too late, then it's always that last one in is the worst one out, right? Just like again, I use the phrase a Ponzi scheme or some of this multi-level marketing stuff. It's great if you're the beginning of the multi-level marketer, but if you're the one getting in too late, it creates a problem. So I think this really, I wanted to take some time to talk about it, and I guess really it's just a cautionary tale. Don't do it. don't do it. If you're going to invest, if you have a reason on your own, you personally believe in a particular stock for a particular reason, you want to invest in that using some of the online trading services, that's fine. I have a financial guy, because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any idea, right? So I let him give me advice, and we follow his rules and regulations, because investing should not be gambling. Investing should not be gambling, as Professor Kuroff said. Now, if you want to gamble, Biff, you know what to do. FanDuel, that's exactly right. FanDuel is where you go to gamble, not the stock market. You gamble on FanDuel. FanDuel can be fun if you're not a problem gambler. And we're now in the midst of March Madness, and everybody's got their brackets. And by the way, our Watchdog Madness brackets are up online at our website, watchdognetwork.com, or on our Facebook page. We picked the 64 names out of the entries that we got over the last couple of weeks. We picked those out and matched them with 64 names in the brackets. And the brackets are now up, and you can find out where you are if you entered our contest, and then you just follow your team all along. And if your team makes it through to the end, you win the big screen TV that we're giving away. Our contest is brought to you by West Liberty University. I should mention that. But if you're playing brackets, there's always one team that ruins your bracket. And that's why this year you should bet the tournament on FanDuel Sportsbook. Because on FanDuel, they've got your first bet risk-free. It doesn't matter who you're betting. New users get up to $1,000 in site credit back if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel has odds on all the action, games day and night, an easy-to-use app, multiple deposits, fast withdrawals, always on promotions. So your next chance to win with FanDuel is only minutes away. And if that's not enough, FanDuel wants to make you a millionaire. Oh, please, can I do this? I think I could do this. Can I be a millionaire? I can handle it. Could you handle it, Biffy, being a millionaire?
Yeah, all I need to make is 2 calls and we're good to go.
They're giving away $1 million on FanDuel to one lucky bettor. New and existing users get an additional shot at the payout every day that you bet the tourney. So if you want a shot at becoming a millionaire, or even a thousandaire, download FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use my name, Monroe, M-O-N-R-O-E, in the promo code box. That way they know that we sent you here from the Watchdog Morning Show. I have to remind you, you must be 21 or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. No purchase is necessary. Restrictions do apply for the $1 million drawing. Risk-free offer for the first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable, so if you miss your first bet and they put the site credit back in your account, it stays there for 14 days, but you can't withdraw it, but you can use it for another bet in 14 days. And the non-withdrawable credit does expire in 14 days. Some restrictions do apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. And again, it's fun, it's enjoyable. If you like to gamble, to game, to play on FanDuel, that's good. It's great. Everybody can have a lot of fun. But some folks can't. Some people have gambling problems. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win. 9:33:27 to the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. A traffic note: Mountainwood Road in Wheeling is closed to through traffic this morning. Crews are working on a water main break there. So Mountainwood Road in Wheeling is closed to through traffic this morning as the crews work on a water main break. We'll check our capital report out of Charleston coming up in a few minutes. We'll see what the folks at the Big Seven are working on. And I got a couple of fun stories I want to get into in the next half hour as well. We're heading into the home stretch here on the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. You hearing a buzz? Yeah, I don't hear it, but sometimes it's this wire coming off my phone. I will. Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but I've noticed a couple times this week. I've tried to fix it when I hear it. Okay, good. Yeah, it must go past something that's got electricity running through it. And
They'll take good care of you.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah,
You live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over. Your insurance goes up. You lose your license. You total your car. You kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Did you know that 3 Ohioans are diagnosed with oral cancer every day? Dentists are doctors of dental surgery and can recognize life-threatening conditions and treat oral diseases before they become serious health complications. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
The weather will affect you every day, whether it's good or bad. The Storm Tracker 7 weather team is here to make sure you're never surprised. You can trust us to help you plan your day.
36 degrees here in Wheeling.
On TV, online, on your phone, our experienced meteorologists are here to help you prepare for what's ahead. Watch the Storm Tracker 7 weather team with Zach Petty, Aaron Myler, and me, Dr. Dave Walker. Weather coverage you can count on, working for you.
I'm not buying till I check on for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
There are times when you shouldn't ignore what your body is telling you, and you need to seek medical care. At Wheeling Hospital, we want you to know that we are taking every precaution to make your visit as safe as possible. We're screening visitors using the latest infection control technologies, offering telehealth for physician visits, and more. This is true throughout our campus, in our ER trauma center, our physician offices, surgical center, and on our patient floors. The pandemic isn't over, but be assured that at Wheeling Hospital, we are here when you need us.
Hannibal. The watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Poppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Hannibal trusts the watchdog.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Remember, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, be sure to like us and share us. I always want to point that out to you. Like us if you're watching us, and then share it. Hit the share button, share it to your news feed, your timeline, whatever, so more people can spread the wealth and watch the Watchdog Morning Show. Our video feed, 18 till the hour, 41 degrees, cloudy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. The legislature is past its halfway mark, a couple days now past its halfway mark into the second half of the session, but they are still continuing to find things to do that make it very embarrassing in West Virginia, in my opinion. The House of Delegates is going to take a look at a bill that is going to prevent anybody from getting rid of Confederate statues. It's going to impact both cities as well as counties and the state. It's the West Virginia Monument and Memorial Protection Act. No statue, monument, memorial, nameplate, plaque, school, street, bridge, building, park, preserve, or reserve erected in the honor of any military history can be removed from public property. Okay. The bill includes statues erected in connection with the war between the states, which is always a phrase that we know that they're really talking about Confederates. That's just one of the things that's pending right now in the legislature. Our Capitol report takes an in-depth look at a few other things pending today.
This is the Metro News Capital Report, brought to you by AA.
Do I need another break? Okay. Okay, thank you. That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Human Resources wants to do a full study of this Department of Child Protective Services, and that bill is on second reading today in the Senate. I'm Jeff Jenkins on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
14 to the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. More conversation about the legislature coming up at 10:06 with Hoppy Kercheval and Statewide Talk Line. This story, you may have heard it over the last couple of days, Biff. This sounds like a Lifetime movie to me. You know, I mean, just... And we've heard these kind of stories occasionally in the past, and it just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. There's a 50-year-old woman in Chalfont, Pennsylvania, who has a daughter who is on a traveling cheerleading team. The team is called the Victory Vipers. And she came up with a plan to get her daughter's rivals off the cheerleading team. So she made what they call deep fakes, and these are really well done photoshopped pictures that it's hard to tell that they're not real. She made deep fake photos and videos to make it look like her daughter's competitors were drinking and vaping and running around naked. She then sent the pictures to the team's coach and to the girls themselves. And she even urged them to kill themselves. I think you should kill yourself. Now, to be clear, the daughter apparently didn't know what mom was doing. The coaches, the parents called the cops. They discovered it was all a bunch of deep fakes, and she's been arrested now. Our ABC News team did a little more in-depth look at this.
A Pennsylvania mom is facing charges for year behind bars for 3 counts of cyber harassment of a child, as well as 3 counts of harassment if convicted.
There's got to be something wrong with that mom, Biff. I mean, mentally wrong. I don't hate to throw aspersions, but I mean, what in the world would motivate a mom to take all that time and effort and energy to make these deep fake photos and videos of her daughter's competitors on a cheerleading team?
You must care that much about cheerleading to go to that extreme.
You know, I know nothing more about this now than what I have shared with you and what we just heard from ABC. Well, a little bit more because I've been following the story a bit over the last few days, but I do not know anything about the background of the mother, other than if I had to place a bet, I would bet that she herself was a frustrated cheerleader. That she herself is trying to live out her cheerleading desires.
Through the kid?
Through the kid. But God. And I want to stress again that there is no indication the kid knew about it. Can you imagine the kid finding out about this? The daughter? Your mom sent naked pictures of us to us and told us to kill ourselves? I mean, can you?
No, and I mean, to probably find out through the other people on the squad too. I mean, that's got to be the worst part, is the way she found out.
I mean, there are sometimes I just truly do not understand things. I can't get it. I cannot comprehend a parent who would do that. So I don't know. I don't know. 9 before the hour on the Watchdog Morning Show. Tomorrow, we're going to add a new contributor to our team of commentators on national issues, Biffy. Matt Robeson is a writer and political analyst. He has worked on Capitol Hill for 3 different members of Congress. He's been a senior advisor, campaign manager, consultant on some congressional races. He has his own nationwide podcast that he does out of New Hampshire. And he's going to join us on a fairly regular basis starting tomorrow to analyze some of the national stories. We need more national input, so he's going to help us to do that. Matt Robeson will join us tomorrow. And we're going to talk tomorrow about the filibuster and Joe Manchin's thoughts on the filibuster, and we'll get to that coming up tomorrow on the show. But he'll be a new member of our team on occasion, not every day or every week even, but he'll be with us from time to time. And I will tell you tomorrow about his podcast that you can find, and you can follow some of his writings and stuff online. But he's a national political consultant and a former worked on Capitol Hill and so on. So he'll be with us, part of a new member of our contributing team here on the Watchdog. Because I'm always trying to come up with people who can add a different perspective to things, and so we'll bring him in, Matt Robeson tomorrow. I said Bob because I'm thinking Bob Westfall is here. It's time to talk to him. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, how you doing, Bill?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
It's nice to have Matt joining us. I know how you said you like to add different perspective, but it really sounds like to me that it's less work for you.
Well,
if everybody else is doing it, so that's kind of...
Is that too? There is that too. Yeah, okay. All right. But he's going to be good. He's going to be good.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
What are you working on today, my friend?
Several things. Eastbound I-70, I rolled in about a little bit before 9. They had not moved it, but they are in the process, so be careful out there. You're going to have to, there's some new stop locations and things like that you're going to have to be aware of. Warning you up front, be careful, be slow. So that is changing today, it looks like. So we've given you a warning. We've talked about it for 2 weeks now, so just slow down. Remember, these guys have families to go home to when they're working in the construction zone.
I still see somebody posting on social media, I didn't know they were going to do this. Why do they make these things happen without telling us? You'll still hear that.
We'll see it. We'll see it on our Facebook page, I'm sure. So that's something we're working on. We're going to talk to Senator Brown out of Ohio today. he started I guess he's starting it up again. Buy an American. He's looking to reintroduce some legislation called Buy American. It's to deal with federal agencies, say if the United States Department of Transportation or something like that, or anyone needs to go out and buy things and things like that. Buying American is a top priority, so that's kind of an interesting thought. So we're going to talk to Senator Brown, I think, later this morning on that. Just try to get his update on that, thought on that, and we'll probably talk to him a little bit about the rescue package that just passed. And for which I'm still waiting on my $1,400. But anyway, we'll talk to the Senator today.
I checked online. I checked the Get My Payment thing yesterday, and mine should come tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day for getting the payment.
That's what my bank said as well. So we probably have the same bank. Let's see. Story I like. We are going to talk to. And I'm going to apologize to him right now, but it's Father Tavanka. He's with the University of Franciscan in Steubenville, Franciscan University, and we're going to talk. He was actually with Pope Francis in Iraq in that historic meeting. Chief Engineer Brad Stanford just walked in, so the party's here. But anyway, we're going to talk. He was actually in Iraq with the Pope, so we're kind of excited to see what his perspective was on this event. It's a truly historic event. I mean, one of the first Pope to have a service in that part of the world. So we're excited to hear what he's going to say. Stephanie Grinley's going to go up this afternoon and have a sit down with him. So we're really excited about that one.
That sounds interesting. I look forward to that.
Yeah. It's tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, so don't drink and drive. So we're going to be talking to State Highway Patrol. They're going to be out. They're going to be out special. Something I saw a survey. One of the 3 most dangerous days is the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Why would that?
We're working on the survey. We're going to get the story. That's probably going to be a Wednesday story. But we're looking into that itself. But I think the obvious thing is be prepared to have a designated driver if you're going to go out to have a few pints of the Guinness. So those are some of the things we're working on today. Wheeling Council.
I remember those days. I remember those St. Patrick's days. Vaguely. I want to be clear, vaguely.
That's it.
I'm too old for it now, but I do remember it back in the old days for sure. All right, people can check things out at noon, 5, 6, 10, 11, 5:30 is always the statewide show. And most importantly, I shouldn't say most importantly, but as important, check out the Facebook page and check out WTRF.com, where we always get the news breaking when it happens. We find it out first at WTRF.com.
Hey, how did your basketball on-air thing go for you guys?
Well, we have all of our teams selected, and we have our participants selected. Each of our 64 people are matched up with a team, and now the brackets are posted on our website, and people can follow along and see which of our listeners eventually make it through to the Final Four and then to the big game.
John and I can't play in?
I don't know if you're in there or not. There were a couple of names in there that I thought, how did those people get in there?
Bob, you guys are like they're doing with the other 4, your replacements.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, John, we're replacements.
We're good. You'll be the play-in games. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Good talking to you. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
On Thursday.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.
All right, Bob Westfall from the Big 7, WTF-TV. Tonight, it is Wheeling Central hosting Notre Dame, right, Biffy?
Yep, Notre Dame out of Clarksburg.
That's 7:30 here on AM 1600. And for me, I got to get out of here. I got to go. Say sayonara, see you, bye-bye, farewell. But good Lord willing, creeks don't rise. I shall return tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock on the go-around of the big gig. Are you back with me, Biff, for St. Patty's Day?
Only if Central wins.
Well, we'll keep on doing it until we get it right.
That could be a long time.
But not till Central wins. That won't be a long time. Indeed.
No, you can't take
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Administration searching for places to house.
All right, Biffy. Got Robeson tomorrow. I'll probably get somebody from the legislature, and then we'll roll from there. Keep that Netflix piece that I sent you. Might do that tomorrow. It's just a little comedy bit, but I might do that tomorrow. And Erica Storch just got back to me now from 10 days ago. Haven't even read the text yet to see if she's available for tomorrow or not, but I sent it to her 10 days ago, so I finally got a response this morning, so I'll see whether she's available tomorrow or Thursday or something. But we'll figure something out. We'll get something. We always manage to make it work, so. All right, I will be around today. Teddy's in school, so no Mario today. I guess I'll just catch up on some work. Oh, man, I hate to do work. I guess I need to do that, though. So I'll catch up on some work. I'll be around if you need me for anything. Just give me a call. All right, thanks for your help, as always, and we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, thanks. Bye.
And cash is being confiscated from innocent citizens. I'm serious. It's truly shocking. The folks at Swiss America have detailed all the dirty little government secrets in their free report, The Secret War on Cash, and it's available now by calling 800-289-2646. Why don't you write that down? 800-289-2646, because time's running out to take action. Don't become the next victim in this battle. Get The Secret War on Cash. Call 800-289-2646, and be sure to tell them Pat Boone gave you this number, 800-289-2646.
Investigators are trying to figure out why a small plane crashed in South Florida, killing 3 people.
The terrifying moment caught on surveillance video by a